All right, take two.
Take two.
Eric, hit it.
Hmm.
Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the second episode of the Weaving Myths special podcast on Project Baldr, Ask Me Anything. And tonight, we're going to be joined by Colin,
Hello, everyone.
and for the first time, Claire. Welcome, Claire.
Hello, and thank you.
Hey. We're all, as you probably have gathered by now, staff on Mythweavers, which is one of the largest play-by-post gaming sites in existence and certainly home to the largest repository of character sheets anywhere online. And we're here to help you bring your game to the next level. And in this case, that means finally getting ourselves out of the Stone Age when it comes to technology.
Also known
Mythweavers
as
has...
the mid-2000s.
Okay, fine. Mythweavers has been running for 15 plus years now, and we're pretty much on the same baseline technology that we started with, which was a version of vBulletin that was around when some of you were in middle school. Okay, not me.
I was in high school. You were old.
I was old.
Claire was
Okay.
about my point, age-wise.
Yeah, okay. I never ask a lady her age, so I'm just gonna move
Thank
on
you.
from that one.
I don't have to. I just look at the staff's birth dates and their profiles.
Okay, that's fair. You are the HR guy too.
Yeah,
That's fair
mistakes were made.
enough. You volunteered.
What kind of crazy idiot volunteers to be a part of this freak show anyway?
Oh, coming from you, that means nothing, Claire.
I
Anyway.
feel like the hecklers in the Muppet Show, wondering why we always come here, and yet we haven't been able to escape. Anyhow, so tonight we're going to talk about some topics we didn't talk about last time, and the one that really tickled people's fancy was search. And to talk about why people are interested in having better search tools, we really do have to dial the way back into the existing Mythweaver site. So, Colin, can you bring it up?
Yep. Gonna be a rough transition. Here we go. And transition. Hey.
All right.
There we go. It worked.
Good job, Colin.
I'm so proud of myself. I amaze
Yeah, it's
myself
amazing.
every day.
Yep. All right. It says that I'm clearly live. So great. All of you will recognize this is the existing Mythweaver site. It's great. Just to flash forward, here is Mythweaver's version 6, aka Project Baldr. But we'll go back here for a second. You can see that we do have a search feature. It's enhanced by Google, which means that it's basically just Google custom search pointed at the site.
Which means
And-
it's garbage.
Okay, it's pretty basic. Like if I want to look for something here, I can type it in, I don't know, something, and I search for it. And well, obviously I get Google ads at the top, which is not fun. And then obviously it doesn't fit the theme of the site at all. And then where does it actually search? Well, it uses whatever Google's magic algorithm, which means that if, oh, I don't know, if it's private thread, if it's private text in a post, it's not getting searched. Anything where we customized features into the site, dice rolls, not getting searched. It's really only searching the visible text in the post. So it also is not organized in any way, and there's no way to filter it down to, hey, I just want to search my game or this thread for, I don't know, when did I mention as a GM that thing that the players are talking about now, and I have completely forgotten about that plot lead? Am I right? Yeah.
Quite possibly.
Yeah, I'm right. Anyhow, so this is the existing search feature. Adequate, barely, but to say that we didn't put much effort into it is pretty accurate.
I'll argue we put a lot of effort into it for the time it was created.
That is true, because when you consider that the out-of-the-box search for vBulletin at this version was super resource intensive. Certain searches could nearly crash the site and would definitely give performance impacts to everyone who was trying to browse, because it was the server's onboard resources dedicated to going looking at what's going on the server. You could make a very complex search that would take it a while to resolve. Colin.
You crashed the site a couple times. They never let you forget.
Yeah, he did. Anyhow, so
that was admin CP. That was different.
It uses the same search engine on the bottom.
Well, it doesn't use the Google one.
That is true. It uses the onboard vBulletin search, which is the reason why we don't use onboard vBulletin search is because giving that power instead of just to Colin to every mod or every member on the site, yeah.
If I can crash it doing base level searches for staff duties, that means everyone will crash it every second of every day, and yeah, the site wouldn't function.
Right. So we locked out the basic search and we put in the Google custom search and called it a day. Fast forward to 2022. Yeah. So search has improved. The baseline technologies on the back end allow us to offload the search from the processing on the website, which means that search is super fast and doesn't impact anyone else. And it also has much, much more powerful features. So if you just click in the search box, you'll start by seeing the basic search. You can just type in anything you want here, like anything you want here. And by default, it will search everywhere on the entire site. Anything you can see was going to come up here. But you can also filter it down to the content that you're looking at right now. So you'll see that this says topics. Well, in Vision speak, and Vision is the technology that this site is built on. Topics are basically what we would call forums or threads on the existing site. So this will search all of these public forums, all of that content, and exclude everything else on the site, which can help you when you're trying to find something specific. So if I were to drill down into site announcements and then go to search again, now it's going to give me any topics or just this forum. So that will help me to narrow down, just kind of out of the box, what it is that I'm trying to do. In addition, we also have the any and all kind of search type optimization. So if you're looking for something general that kind of looks like Dragon or Drake or I don't know, Fireburb. No, I really meant Fireburb. It will look for any of those words, or you can make it very specific and say, I need to have all of the search words together. And then down here at the bottom, obviously you can search for title and body or titles only. We get all of this for free. I've done zero work on the out-of-the-box search. Dessert orders have been taken. Awesome. Anyway, this is kind of the just basic out of the box. If you're searching for something and I search everywhere, it will tell me, here's all the stuff that I found that matches your search results. And there are 31 of them, which actually isn't too bad for kind of the test forms that we got. Colin, you can't fall asleep yet. Colin, it's not time to fall asleep yet.
I can try to fall asleep.
You can. You've had a hard week.
Nah, just Friday sucked.
Is that more bourbon?
No, that's mead.
Okay.
We finished the bourbon.
Yeah, for those of you who aren't familiar with Colin's dumpster fire epics.
Dumpster Fire 6 officially ended on Friday at noon with a company-wide meeting where they announced effective immediately the company is closed.
You can all go home now.
You can all go home now. So yes, that would be Dumpster Fire 6, which the Dumpster Fire Chronicles is my engineering career. It's been a blast.
It's getting to the point that it's less a fire in a dumpster and more the dumpster itself is becoming a fire elemental.
I updated my signatures to include Iron's latest quote. Let's see, what was Iron's latest quote? Usually they stay in business when you're done with them. The scorched earth approach is new and surprising.
I'm figuring that the next one, Colin is going to be leaping out of the dumpster,
As it
Vin Diesel
explodes.
style, as it explodes behind him, and we'll get the snapshot.
Yes. All right.
So
Anyway,
back to
search.
We tangented real hard there.
Us
So
tangent never.
that's almost our secondary business. All right, so here's my 31 search results. Obviously, it's looking in, looks like primarily in the bodies of everything. So any of the threads, any of the topics, anywhere on the site, including in games, in public forums. So obviously, this is a lot. I could filter it down directly here, or I can click on the more search options. And this is where the real power comes in. You actually can get that here, or also up here by just clicking on more options, or click on the magnifying glass. Down here, obviously you've got the text that you're looking for, but you can search by author. So if I know that that it was posted by Powderhorn, also autocomplete is real cool. You can actually search for tags. So if your GM is using tags on their forums and their threads, then you can look for those as well. And you can also and on your tags or your text. And then get down here to what am I looking for? Well, I already started with everything, but you'll notice that down here I've got a block called game. This is probably the most requested search feature on the existing site. Hey, I just want to look for stuff in my game. Can I do that? And the answer is no. Well, now the answer is yes. Specifically the games that you are a member of. Thanks, Claire.
Bring Claire on, they said. It will help, they said.
She volunteered.
You'd think you'd learn. You'd think I would learn.
I mean, I kept you around for years, so clearly I'm a glutton for punishment.
All right, so yes, you can search for your game, and if you had multiple games, you could actually select multiple games here. My demo user is actually not a member of more than one game, so I only have one to choose from there. Search by date ranges. Oh yeah. So if you kind of know when it was supposed to be or when the post was last updated, like, hey, I want to search in all of the content that was updated in the last week. Yeah, sure, easy. So search power much more powerful than the existing search. Oh, and there's member search as well. So you can look for people by role. So if you're trying to find your helpful staff members, like say you have a question about the site storefront, like why isn't it ready yet? Yeah, you could search for member. Oh, there's no one. That's why it's not open yet. Oh yes, yeah. Claire dates back from the good old days where all of us had to actually put fingers
Apply.
to keyboard and yeah.
I mean,
But she didn't.
I never filled out that application.
No, you were just buddy with Rodrigo, and he's like, "Hey, we need someone who could be like, I don't know, deal with all the members, and when they have questions, you could help them out, and offload that for me so I could actually do site development." Colin's like,
I can do
"Sure."
that. It was more like he was just whinging about, and I said, I can help there. And he went, cool, I'm gonna make you a mod. I went, wait. Mistakes were made.
15 years later.
It has not been 15 years, damn it.
13 years later.
Yeah, okay, close enough.
13 years later, he's hosting in-person meetups in Kalamazoo. By the way, the next one is coming up June 25th and 26th of this year.
We'll do a longer plug at the end of the episode. Eric, focus.
Hey,
focus.
focus. All right, so
I'll play Nathan.
Colin is the producer now and the executor and the hatchet man and the
I'm gonna claim that's why I drink.
The smiley public face of Mythweavers. Okay, no, I took that one too far. Anyhow, so yeah, so you have much more powerful search features. Let's go back to that. So you can actually search members directly from here. So if I'm looking for Fireburb, oh, why did I find you, Claire?
Because my name
Oh,
hasn't been changed there.
oh, right. Dang it. So it probably says Gaia.
Mm-hmm. Working on it.
I found something that maybe demo can't do. Wonder why.
Is it
Huh,
with an I instead of the E? Or did I have it with the E?
I don't remember. Oh, it is with the I. That's it's funny if you put the wrong thing into the computer, you can't find it. But I bet I could find Colin. Oh, there he is with his wonderful beard.
Mm.
Ooh, so we do have a question. Actually, two questions.
As from Arcticus, we don't care about his.
Mm-mm.
We'll get there. I will note that once you start searching, you can actually start drilling down. So if you want to find everything that Colin's ever posted, or you want to be automatically notified anytime he posts new content.
God, that sounds horrible. Not for me, for whoever's crazy enough to follow me.
Yeah. Who's the more foolish, the fool or the fool who follows him?
Oh, Tiff says to find her.
Mm.
There's Tiff.
Tiff,
Whew.
you're right here, though. I mean, I can see you right there.
Yeah. Follow Tiff.
Not gonna lie, it's like that little emoji bit. I just can't stop picturing Tiff with a giant afro, and I hope that's reality.
Someday Absent will pay to have her flown over, because that's what he does. He's going to show up at her apartment and is going to knock on the door and be like, "Hi, I'm
Hi,
Absent Wizard, and here's your plane
here's
ticket.
your plane ticket to America.
Yeah, you
Don't
got your
worry,
passport.
we
It's time
already
to
got
go.
your visa filed.
Just grab your passport and a day bag, and you'll be good." Yeah,
I'd write the GoFundMe if we needed to.
Absent is the GoFundMe. The dude's scary. And enough said. All right, so search is actually related. There's a related feature up here called activity streams, where you can subscribe to different parts of the site. And thank you, Dimitri. And it's easy to find. So if you're looking for what has been posted on the site that you haven't read, if you are really into reading everything on the site, you can do it. There's also some other options here. So content you started or follow. So remember the follow button before, that all integrates together. It's all one vast tool. And let's see. The search features, obviously, as I said, integrated here. Content you posted in. This is going to be popular, I'm sure. Because you don't have to specially subscribe to a forum or a thread or anything. If you want to find your content, there's always a way to quickly do that directly from the menu. Uh-oh. I have a problem with my PC.
Percussive maintenance.
No, it's I unplugged a thing, and unplugging that thing is a problem because that thing was my laptop.
Oops.
And it's warning me that in about 5 minutes I'm gonna lose power. So problem solved. That would have been a very awkward stream end. Thank you, Fonzie.
I mean, you would have disappeared. The rest of us would have been sitting here going, "We don't know what happened. I guess
Right.
he died."
Right. So the other thing that you can do is you can actually create new streams of your own. So you can set, essentially, like search, the type of content that you're looking for and create it and give it its own name. And then it will show up in your activity streams. And you can set notifications on it too. Yeah.
Search
And when I
does
say
many, many things.
notifications, as we mentioned before, notifications includes on-site notifications, which show up here. And if you enable browser-based notifications, it will give you the little ping, which also works on mobile. So if you've got your phone out because you do your Mythweavers posting on your phone, you can get those notifications directly as push notifications on your phone from your browser. And then obviously, for those of you who are older school and like email, you can actually turn email on as well. And you can set different notification settings based on the type of content that you want to know about. So if you want your games to ping you religiously, you can have the games ping you religiously. So I found this to be a lot more helpful than the existing site notifications, which, I mean, they're not terrible, but all it does is show up here. Gave me an activity warning. I'm a bad person. Yeah, you get mentions and quotes, but it doesn't live update. So the next time you'll see it is the next time you feel like click and refresh on the page. Whereas over here, it will let you know when that happens, including achievements. So if you get a cool badge for, I don't know, being in party to a TPK, then it'll let you know. Is the pinging per thread in game or games as a whole? So
You beat me
this.
to it.
Oh, dang it!
I was
Sorry.
waiting for you to pause so I could read it, but you just kind of went right into it. Go for it.
So there's a very slight granularity within games in that it's game joins show up here, and then games you GM show up down here. What you can do if you want different granularity on your particular games is you can actually set the notifications on the stream. So you can build a stream for your different games and then set ping notifications on the games that you really care about and no notifications on the games that you think are just going to die.
Okay, Eric, you mentioned badges. We should tangent slightly.
Tangent slightly to badges. Oh yeah. So profiles have badges.
So first off, Arcticus, no, they're not achievements. Nice try.
Okay. We are not gamifying the site. It's already a
At
gaming
all.
site.
To be fair, it says your achievements right there,
It
so
does,
Eric
but
just hasn't
we
changed the text yet.
yeah, we could customize that text. We the site staff are not gamifying the site. Yes. That
Could
is
we?
true.
Yes. Will we? God, no. That takes
Uh,
effort. I'm not getting paid. None of
right.
us are getting paid.
And before you ask, all of the +1 type of reactions on posts, those are also all disabled because all of the reputation-based systems that we've ever tried have been abused.
We have tried upvote and downvote. It got abused. We have tried upvote only. It still got abused. No, no reputation systems.
Yep. But there are some badges. Obviously, demo user here has no stinking badges, but maybe
You
if we
had
look.
to. You just had to.
What?
You went with the good, the bad, and the ugly.
Dimitri got there first.
a great movie, so
Oh, God,
Yeah.
he did.
Look,
I should have mentioned that I had to go and do the podcast, or he wouldn't have gone home and watched the podcast.
that is true. But if you didn't mention it, he would have continued to ply you with bourbon.
No, the bourbon really was gone.
Why is all the bourbon gone? All right, so me. we'll go look at my profile for a second. Profile pics, that's kind of cool. You can actually set a background pic for your
The
profile.
banner. Yeah.
Banner, yeah. And
We got to use the
obviously
cool kid terminology, Eric.
profile banners.
There we
Yeah.
go. So proud
Okay.
of you.
So here's my badges. I've got my shiny 1-year player badge and my shiny 1-year GM badge.
Worth a note. No, we're not saying those badges will necessarily exist on the site.
Yep. These are
Those,
just examples.
yes. Anything shown in an AMA or anything else we do for Baldr doesn't guarantee those badges exist.
Safe harbor statement, right, Claire?
So
Yes.
badges are the
A
way we're
trial.
approaching badges is they're meant to be fun and funny.
Yeah.
So you might get, for instance, if you go to Mythweaver's meetup, one of the live meetups, you might get a badge. If you GM for a virtual Mythweaver's meetup, you might get a badge. Stuff like that. We're not gonna do anything where you can go, oh, look how awesome I am. I have these badges. No.
Yeah, we are definitely not trying to create a system where people will say only people with this badge can apply to this game.
Yeah, no.
That will definitely result in a warning.
Which means, so, just before it even gets asked,
There's that
questions
TPK
about.
badge.
There's not going to be anything. So, right now, we've got the current site. There's the titles for how many posts you've got. Those aren't going to be carrying over. And also, we're not going to have badges based on how many times you hit post comment.
Yes, your post count can be seen. It's right here.
But there's not going to be title changes or anything like that for how many times you post.
Colin, someone needs to throw something on Trello for our art folks to fix a color here.
Oh, Andrew, what?
Yeah, I know.
Here, I'll
I'd
do it
say
right now since you're doing most of the talking.
There you go.
Bloody hell, where is it? No,
It's similar to Reddit Flare. Well, it's certainly better than Office Space Flare.
and considerably better than Ric Flair.
Now you're going back to my childhood.
Mine too.
Yeah.
With the badges, I was going to say, kind of the whole point is really highlighting the strength of Mythweavers, which is, I think, its community. We do have a lot of great game content, but what makes all of that really work is just we have the best gaming community you can find, and so things like the badges are kind of supposed to add a little bit of like a fun touch to that and kind of highlight that, but without being a source of conflict for that community, if that makes sense.
No, that's exactly it. And I guess since we're talking about search, badges aren't searchable. There's no way for you to go and find everyone who has a particular badge. And no, yeah, respect my authority. Well, that derives from having like one of these titles on which you can't just do yourself.
Also, one
Okay,
of those titles really sucks anyway. Just saying.
yeah. Then you actually have to work with people. So,
And staff
since I'm,
doesn't regularly agree with each other, so
oh man, yeah,
staff
it's
has had some fights.
staff discussion is lively.
That's by design. It's worth mentioning just as an aside. We intentionally make sure staff doesn't consist of people that all agree with each other's viewpoints because we don't want everyone to 100% agree. We want to have at least, civil discourse at least.
Yep. All right. So since we're on profile page, we'll talk about profile page a little bit. Um,
It's really
so
cool.
obviously you've got the basics: when they joined the site, when they were last visited the site, how many posts they got, and achievements. Then you get the activity stream. So where they've posted, that shows up here. What games they're a member of, that also shows up here, just like it does on the existing site. You can actually switch to kind of the activity stream version of it, which gives you some ability to kind of filter down into particular parts of the site that you're looking at. But I mean, if you're trying to get really granular, I would suggest going to the search up here. Other features that are obviously here, the follow member. So if you really like someone's posts and you want to see it every time they post, you can follow them. Direct messages also linked from here. So if you just want to send them a direct message, you get a nice little modal dialog box here that goes to that person. But you can also add more people as you go.
And it autofills or
Take them
provides
away.
recommendations.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And obviously, direct messages are linked up here. I don't actually have any in this demo user, so it's empty because of all those locks. Look.
Catching up on chat, Dimitri, we are not making an Odoyo rules badge. No, don't chuckle, Claire. Don't you give him that satisfaction.
All right, so I sent a message. It obviously doesn't show up in my inbox.
Outbox.
Yeah, go to inbox. So actually it did. It just took a second to populate. So direct messages are actually conversational. They work exactly like threads. You can actually add people to the direct message on the fly. So if I wanted to invite another member, I can just say and invite, and you don't have to accept an invite. This is an invitation only system. So you can actually opt out of DMs, which also works for ignoring people. Hey, Colin, you wanna send a response to this?
Oh yeah, working on it right now.
I'm a little disappointed you didn't add me.
Fine. Oh, actually,
Yay.
it remembered. Yeah, I don't. Not Zan. Not ever Zan.
Yep, it just popped up for me too.
Right. So when Colin finally mans up and sends me a response, I should get a notification about said response. Do they get to see the message history? I believe the answer is yes, but Gaia can confirm. Sorry, Claire can confirm whether she can see the entire conversation all the way back to the beginning.
I can.
Fantastic. So yeah, yes, Shub. It's all connected.
Any second now.
Yeah, so yes.
Of course, I'm not 100% sure if I turned on ping notifications for demo here. Now that I'm thinking about it.
We might have had that turned off just because it
Oh,
saved.
no, there it is. You have a new personal message.
Also, this is an example
Also,
of the ability
also
to
to
copy paste an image.
yes, images work. Emojis also work.
Yeah,
But
turns out that's not actually an alt code. Son of a. Lies. You're not helping, Claire.
all right,
What?
But
I
yes,
didn't do
so
anything. I
reported
didn't do
content
anything.
for us on the mod side, reports are so much more easily handled in Baldr um, than in the existing site. Would gifts work?
I don't know, but by God, I'm about to test it. Stand by.
Take another swig here.
Please, God. The answer, yeah, they work. Stand by.
Of course they work. Why
We're
wouldn't they work?
we're
It's like
very
you
mature here.
can literally drag and drop
Mm-hmm.
images into the post
Yep.
and then resize them on the fly.
Yeah, I just chose copy image and pasted it, but yeah,
Oh, that
that
definitely works.
it works with GIFs.
And it's GIFs. I'm sorry for the passing of the inventor of the format, who believes that it was pronounced a different way.
A great man who mispronounced what he created.
We're very mature here,
Beacons
Mythweavers.
of professionalism.
Mm. That's why people want to be on staff here. The professionalism present in Mythweaver's staff. We've definitely never cussed each other out in staff channels.
Yeah,
I don't recall doing that.
Well, no, because you weren't involved. Josh and I have done it to each other.
yeah, that's verifiable.
You don't pick on Josh.
No, I don't pick on Josh. We were arguing. I love Josh to death. We were still arguing. And it's staff channel, so we can cuss each other out and get away with it.
If it weren't for those stinking fireburbs.
Yes.
All right.
Yes, Arcticus. Hot takes from Colin and Eric.
What did we get ourselves into here? Oh, right. We were talking about search. We talked about profiles. Let's see, what else? There were some other questions that were out there. I can't really say much more about search. Search is, I mean,
yes, I
it's
managed
an
to stay awake
essential
through it.
feature.
It's essential, but God, is it boring. Until you need it. From the pre-podcast questions from Vladim, I forgot this before, but just curious, will the new site have private games/forum functionality?
Yes, yes. You can see that this game that demo is a member of is actually an open game. This is one that the exact concept doesn't quite exist on the existing site. An open game basically says you can come join, no barriers. Just go to the game and click join. So if I were to go browse games and find an open game, right now I'm looking at
Show
the
the game
game.
search feature.
Show the game search feature.
I
Why?
know.
Why, Colin? Why?
Because honestly, I don't remember if we showed that.
Yeah, so if you were to click on, so I've got the list of all the open or all of the games, all games. I can sort, but I can also filter. And right now this is kind of incomplete. We're still working through our list here, but we're being smart and making room for the future. But you can actually filter this down by just games that are advertising. If you're looking for a game to join, we actually have a pre-filtered list of advertisements right here if you just want the games that are advertising. Actually, this is probably a good place to start as any. Our open games. Sorry, someone else should read the question so that I can answer.
Will the new... Go ahead, Claire.
No. You started. So.
Oh, you started talking. I'd hate to interrupt you. I'm going to make you talk.
Well, I think technically I went second, but okay. So Mick asks actually a couple of things. I might have missed this. Is there a friends function?
Friends function. I believe that there is. I'm trying to remember what it's called.
So we got follow. We got I can warn. Others can't warn. Bloody hell.
Yeah.
I thought there was a friends.
Hmm. Yeah, what if I go to Colin here?
Um,
I
I feel
don't,
like
I
I feel
think
like that says something.
follow is the only thing. You know what? We're going to actually have to take this one as a lookup.
you can follow and let others see that you follow them, but huh, this might be an add-on.
Hmm, that's true. That's the other beautiful thing about all of the architecture that we're inheriting by purchasing Envision is everything is add-on based, and content that you'll see in some of our games when we jump over there.
Die roller.
Yeah, the dice roller is an add-on plugin that we built. So it's all connected to the site code, plugged into the site code, but it is not integral to the site code. So that means that we can upgrade the base site without causing the die roller to die.
So worth a. I mean, I say this a lot recently, but the very brief synopsis: the current site doesn't have stuff like plugins because we hacked the base code back in the day when a couple high schoolers thought it was a great idea. Envision is made to take plugins and add-ons and all that, so we aren't going to have to deal with, oh, we like this feature, but we can't add this feature because it destabilizes the site. That doesn't exist with Envision.
Mm-hmm.
So eventually,
That's
when Eric adds in a time limit for ads where it automatically closes the advertising status, that'll be a plugin.
yep.
Okay, so Mick also asks, are open games a replacement for the forum style game?
And I think that the answer is yes to that. That we don't have a really a place other than non sequitur for kind of free play where people can just
Oh
walk up
no no no,
and
we have. I thought I made a public non sequitur forum.
yep,
Um,
there is, but so the difference here, there's actually 5 statuses, and maybe it'd be easier for me to show it
yes
rather
please.
than tell it. So I'm just going to click on start a game here. Sorry, 4 statuses. Um, and it actually is self-explanatory. It tells you here what it is that you can do. Public, you don't even have to join. You can just go to the forum and or go to the game and start adding content. And there's no barrier to entry. Open is you can see the game, but you can't participate. But the
No,
only barrier to join is click on the join button. Closed, you can see the game and the participants, but you can't see the content or participate. This is a feature that people don't have right now on the old site.
so for a general note, closed would be if someone wants to be a reader for a game. Typically, like the way it is right now, they can be added as a reader, but they can see everything. They can see private notes between members. They can see private notes of the game master. They can see all the threads that are privated from the rest of the players. Closed is kind of the replacement capability. Here's the players, and if anyone else wants to follow along, you can subscribe to it.
Mm-hmm.
But that
And
way, you can't see the private messages between players. You can't see the stuff for the GM, that sort of thing.
there's actually even more granular features within the game to control privacy for the GM relative to what everyone else can see for the GM and any co-GMs. Um,
Now, what about add-ons or things so that you could have the game be open so that viewers can see the various threads, but can't just, join and post?
right, and so the open allows people to subscribe to the game, to follow the game content, and to be able to read it, so it's on their list, but they can't actually post in it. So that's the distinction between open and closed is the capability to actually see the content.
But we don't have a way open. Anybody could just join and, in theory, post in that game, correct?
Yes.
So,
Correct.
So public is typically what all the public forum areas are set to,
mm-hmm.
like non sequitur,
Hmm.
general conversation, that sort of thing. Those are all going to be on public.
Yep.
Open could be your territory for your advertising.
Yeah, it's kind of advertising, but advertising is actually a checkbox that's separate from this on purpose because that's not really advertising, but you don't want just anyone to be able to join. You want to be able to invite them in. So there are open games on Mythweavers. There's just not very many of them. So there's not really a great analog that we can point to for what that state would be. But it does have
Yeah.
some capabilities that we'll want to crib. We may actually be creating. I think the reason why I'm remembering 5 states is because we were talking about creating a fifth one that's kind of in between open and closed.
Well,
It's
so
the
That's
open would
kind
be
of what I was
typically
getting
what you
at.
see for Pathfinder Society or
yes, those are
yeah,
the
those are going to be your open games.
yes, and Mick, you do have the right of it that you can create yeah, a change in status.
Oh, is
You
that up
can't
yet?
yet, but that's literally my next coding task is to go build a plugin that allows you to do this because right now you can see it, but if I were to go in as a GM of an existing game, I have no ability to edit this privacy setting once the game's created. That's just not how Envision was built out of the box. So I'm gonna make a plugin, make it happen.
So,
Private. Go ahead.
um, more of a subjective thing here. Arcticus asks, "What is your favorite aspect of the new site so far?"
Ooh.
All
Well,
of it.
me
All
from a
of it.
technical perspective, the ability to write the plugins and just integrate out,
And
uh, because plugging into Sheets was easy.
I'm going to expand upon that a little bit, Eric. Just a little bit.
Okay.
Um, so we've got well, I think pretty much everyone watching this live at least is on the Mythweavers Discord server. Ishmael bot is likely going to get more functionality eventually. There's zero timeline for this because Eric's busy as hell already. But Eric custom wrote Ishmael, and it's going to be a lot easier with the current, or with the new site rather, to give Ishmael expanded functionality that can reference things from the new site.
Like you put a game into advertisement and Ishmael's like, "Hey yo, new game."
And also, we've got about a decade of shelved projects that we couldn't even begin to touch because the current production site just will not let us do it in a way that doesn't blow up the current production site, whereas Baldr will. So yeah, we got a decade of crazy ideas to play with coming up.
Yep.
Eric doesn't
So if
need
I
to sleep.
no. So I'm in here in this game that I'm a member of. By the way, games can have banner pictures too, and their own game profile picture. So it's pretty sweet, just from a visual perspective. If I were to go into a thread here, you see the dice roller is actually attached to each one of your posts so that when you need to add dice, you can do that. But I can't add dice to Butchern's post because I'm not her. And as demo, I'm not a moderator or staff member, so I can't go in and retroactively add. Oh, there's one where there's an actual dice roll. Um, but if I were to post myself, then I could actually, and I think I did that on a different IC thread. I think it's on this other thread.
I mean, you
No,
start mucking
I didn't.
around with
I didn't bomb her
B's
site.
B's demo thing, I'm gonna tell B on you.
Yeah, she that would be. Oh no, I did. I mucked here. See? Haha. Yeah, there's that dice roll.
As
Uh,
Zoob says, you can add rolls after posting then.
yep, you can
Yes.
definitely add rolls after posting. This is all designed so that you can keep the dice roll associated with the post without having to remember weird strings of characters that go in because it's all
Or
uh,
realizing, oh, I need to add this other roll, and then you accidentally add it in front of the previous roll, and now the site screams at you and tells you you're a cheater.
bad person. No, these just keep them in chronological order of when you posted them, and it just connects it all here.
I don't think, Eric, you can't use the die roller during the creation of a post, can you?
No, so you create the post. Does it catch cheeky rerolls still? You can't once you've made it, you can't take it away.
It's
The dice
there.
roller the dice roller sees all and knows all.
So you can
So
preview to make sure you're seeing it right. It doesn't mean
Hmm.
that's the roll you're getting.
Right.
that that was going to be my question, anticipating that question from somebody because we've run into that recently.
Yes.
As in
It
this
ha
week on the site, yes.
it happens more often than you would think. My wife constantly complains to me. I had the best preview rolls, and then I posted the post, and those rolls sucked.
You
Yep.
mean you haven't told Merlana you biased the current die roller against her?
Stop. Stop. I like living. You need me to code. Don't say these things.
No,
Just
her wrath will just be locking you in the basement to the computer to make you code more.
just
This
tell her to wait until the preview is bad and then click
right.
No,
submit.
we'll tell
That
her
would
that the new die roller is more fair, so she makes him work on the site harder.
You are a mean person. You are such a mean person. Look, this space in the basement is actually going to be renovated here soon. This is going to be the bar, the wet bar. It's going to be right here.
You know, if I'd thought about it, Eric, I would have made sure to swap cell phone numbers with her at last meetup.
Look, you don't think far enough ahead. That's your general problem.
I can message her on the site and still get numbers swapped. You're not
That
safe.
that's true. Damn it. Is the dice roll going to link to the sheets? Oh yes, 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 yes. Let's
Eventually.
see. So I'm just gonna go ahead and add this roll here. Yay! Dice were successfully added. Okay,
Not
it's a four.
correctly.
What? Wah.
It's
Yeah.
like
So
Eric hasn't finished the bit
yeah,
of
the
the
dice.
code where it tells you no, this isn't valid yet.
It's valid. It gave me 4 fate dice and it gave me 4+1s. It was
That's right, it's
actually
just the Fate 4 is the actual string. I'm still
yeah.
adjusting that. I still hate
Hmm.
Fate.
So
So go ahead, Claire.
Zoob asks, will it give options for something like a basic attack roll, or will folks have to remember what it is they need to be rolling?
Yes,
Can
that's an
I
excellent
go on this
question.
one, Eric?
Go.
So the die roller in its existing state when we hit open beta is going to be about what you expect currently. Like what the current site can do is going to be about what the open beta die roller can do. What is going to be involved before we go to full on production and start forcing everyone over to the new site and deal with a lot of whinging? We're going to have stuff like fate dice where it's showing pluses and minuses. We're going to have image dice integrated. So some of the systems, like some of the Star Wars system variants, have image dice. We're going to have the ability to integrate image dice into things based on the system that game forum is set to. We're working on a card deck for the Savage Worlds crowd, which will be, well, I think it's what, 2 decks?
Yeah, but I mean, once you make more than one deck, it's as many decks as you want, right?
Yep. But those decks will be bound to that game forum, so you don't have, well, game forum or that thread, I guess. More that
Yeah,
thread. So you don't have to go, oh, well, it's just pulling random cards across the entire site. No, no, no. That card deck will be confined to that thread.
Right.
So it's
What you what
go
you're
ahead.
not seeing on the back of all of this is these dice rolls are bound to this post on this thread in this game. The computer knows, the server knows the relationship of that die roll there. And so likewise, it will know every card that was drawn from the deck that was bound to this thread in this game.
Yeah, it's Eric's not allowed to die because he's doing a lot of stuff that Rodrigo doesn't have time for and David doesn't have time for. So
Yeah, it was scary. They pulled me in, what, how many, 5 years ago now? No, 3 years ago now.
I was gonna say it hasn't been 5.
It's
Wait,
been 3.
hold on. We can answer this question. I'll just look you up in the admin CP.
Dang it.
I will tell you down to the day.
Right. Yes. Poker in open game. Sure. Um, it's important to note dice and gaming features belong to games. So all of the open public forums,
Will not have die roller.
right. So there'll be no more questions about can I use dice here or there.
Which, God, so many times.
Yeah. So ultimately, the dice string will be a lot more human readable than what it is right now, where you have to remember all sorts of weird character strings to figure it out. It'll be something like roll me 4d6, but re-roll ones and twos and drop the lowest one and sort them in ascending order.
And yes, Zoop, we'll be able to do a lot more. Those of us who are fond of Fantasy Flight's games and their crazy dice will be able to enjoy that a little bit more on the
Oh
site.
yeah, I'm already working with, well, I'm already contemplating all of the gifts that I'm going to have to bribe Mr. Andrew J with to work on the user interface for what all of those advanced dice will look like. But yes, real in-character gambling, sure. All
Real
right, so
in-character gambling without real money.
yeah, no, yeah, that'd
Just
be bad.
just to toss that out there. Real money is right out. We ain't that kind of setup.
Yeah, that would be illegal because we don't have a gaming license. Not that kind of gaming license.
Having done
Yeah,
paperwork around said gaming licenses, hell with that.
yeah. The last thing we want is to get this set up and then have it all taken away. And sounds like a deal, Zoop. I am totally down for that.
Let's see. Profile, view change history.
But yes, someone asked about character sheets. Can I actually find it? Let's see, because I messed with Powderhorn's game and I attached a character sheet to his game, but I can't see it because I'm not a member of the game.
Hey, Eric.
Yeah,
October 9th, 2019.
that tracks. I
Nothing
got
says you're screwed like all the existing admins going, hey, we want to get on a video call
video
meeting with
call
you.
with you. Yeah, when's good for a video call?
I mean,
Slave.
hey, Eric, we sent you a nice present, but you're not allowed to open it till we're all on video with you. Oh, and by the way, you're also an admin now.
You were stupid enough to stick around for 10 years. We can
Coming
trust
from
you now.
you, that means nothing. Oh, you're talking about you.
Yeah, me.
Yeah,
That was crazy. Yeah,
I've only got a couple months on Eric for staff time, for general
that's
reference.
that's true. I don't know why they didn't like. Oh, I didn't volunteer. That's why. Had to wait until they felt that they could safely just impress upon me the duty that I wouldn't run away. Yeah, that's pretty accurate. And then, of course, they go and break the site within 2 months, and I have to go fix it over a
I
holiday.
didn't break anything.
I mean,
Code
the
monkeys like
the
you?
the,
Yes.
the powerful ones.
The code monkeys.
Right.
I just run interference for y'all.
Yeah. Let's see. So maybe I should. Okay, this is just gonna be easier if I go back to being me, because then I can see that I actually have a sheet where Eric was messing with Powderhorn's game here. Um, oh yeah. So if I go to his game forum and I go to a thread here like this one, I'll go to page 2. I'll scroll all the way down. You can see if your dice get really big and long and lots of text, that it actually drops the layout down underneath responsively, so that it doesn't completely squish all the text over here and impossible to read.
You won't have to scroll left and right because, a dice title got too long.
Yep, which is great for when we take the layout and we squinch it to mobile friendly. Hopefully that didn't.
Shockingly, it just rolled with it.
It just rolled with it. The stream was good with me resizing my window.
That did nothing bad.
That's great.
I don't know why, but yes.
Yeah, so if I go in here, now you can see that since I'm a staff member, I can actually add dice rolls. Just like GMs can add dice rolls to other people's posts, staff members can add rolls to other people's posts. And because I added a character sheet, I linked a character sheet to his game, it actually gives me a drop-down up here, which we haven't defined all of the valid sheet rolls for this sheet type.
By we, Eric means he.
The idea is that you'll have a list of the things that you can roll off of that sheet, and you just pick it and then roll, and it's done. You don't have to what was the thing to do a strength roll? Okay, just grab it. Initiative, grab it. My weapon, grab it. Swing.
Worth mentioning, initially this kind of functionality is only going to work for the sheets that currently have templates set up for it.
Right.
Now, that said, there's work being done to make it easier for some of the non-programming staff to help with sheets. So in theory, we're going to be able to expand that functionality a little more rapidly than it has moved at.
Yep. Sheets. Well, this should look familiar to you because this is the content of the existing sheet. It's just included in the site. This is the sheet I linked. This is actually a D&D 5th edition, which is why it's not picking up the different types, because I think the only one that I've started to plan it out for is D&D 3.5, just because that was the first template that I had available. Would also have set it for iterative tax. Oh yes. Oh yes. Because why stop at rolling one set of dice when you can roll multiple sets of dice? Attack and damage at the same time?
No, Arcticus, Colin is not making all the sheets now.
Yeah, graphic artist he ain't. Wide-eyed staring at the screen commencing. All right, so right, and yeah, that post they got reported, that goes in here.
So presumably most of these users aren't going to see that.
They wouldn't see that.
The reported content, no, that's site moderation stuff.
That's really
you can
big.
blow up the image?
I can.
That's kind of perfect.
I love the user report. Yeah.
Do we get the new asterisk without number sheet soon then? I don't know, Colin, do we?
We have a stars without number sheet to begin with because I have a close personal relationship with the site owner and definitely leveraged that.
Yeah, fair enough. All right, we are an hour-ish in, and I think we're out of the topics that we intended to cover, but there's got to be more questions out there.
From this lot? Oh god, yes.
Yeah, basically.
They don't shut up on the Discord, much less here. What y'all got? What questions you got?
Someone is resembling those remarks.
I mean, Claire's the one encouraging him half the time.
Do it, Claire.
Well, yeah,
Stir the pot.
that's
Harass
what I do.
Colin! Harass Colin! It'll be fun!
That's what I do. I don't want them to harass you too much though, because that's like it's one of those, well, you know, only I can harass him kind of deals, but
Keep it up,
a
Claire.
little bit.
Your user title's gonna start changing randomly again. We already do it to
Mm.
Powder.
He thinks he can escape.
God,
Oh,
it
he
took him,
referred to
what, like
himself as the
3 months
moderator.
to notice that last time we played with it?
Oh. Can you change the name of the dice rolls? And if you no, once you roll it, you've bought it. It's yours. It stays there. The only people who can remove it are staff.
You'd have to talk to Absent Wizard about that one. Arc.
Ark,
Dude, the
tell you what,
question
you send me $4 million, I got the perfect location in Kalamazoo to set that up.
on the smoldering ruins of Dumpster Fire N.
No, 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 no. The road commission's selling their multi-building complex. Mick, any ETA? You want to tell him, Eric?
Soon, TM.
Oh, don't you? Come on, Eric.
Okay. Rodrigo is actively setting up the server infrastructure now. Not like right now. I think right now he's probably like spending time with his wife because that's what he does while we sit here and blather on the podcast.
We got to get him back on again. That was fun last time.
It was. Although I think he's probably more nervous than Claire.
Yes.
Well, that would be pretty nervous indeed.
Yes.
Not David level nervous because David drowned his nervousness in a fifth of bourbon.
Before the podcast. We still
Yeah.
can't get him back on. Oh
Yeah,
god, that
pretty much.
episode is glorious.
It's 5 years old. No one remembers it at this point. It's not like we have it linked anywhere.
Which episode was it again?
I don't know. Um, yeah. So the future is there anything where GMs can request a role from the players? So if you need to request the role from the players, honestly, my opinion, we've set it up so that you can just go to their post and put the role in. But if they have their sheets linked to the game, you could make the role on your post from their sheet. So kind of the same way it works now, where I can use sheet roll to roll all of the characters in the game.
Worthwhile note, make sure you've got that discussed with your players beforehand because, communication, yada, yada, yada.
Switching over to our other podcast topic.
God damn it.
Mick also asks, it looks like there's a better
Claire, you've got a
integration.
drink. You need to take a drink.
Unfortunately, I am empty. So he asks, is there an example of the better integration of the wiki and the blogs than what we currently have?
Yep. So blogs, yeah, blogs are a thing. They have to be approved. We're not just going to let people post random blogs on the site because, well, that could get bad. But you can
Blogs
actually
are going to be. Yeah, blogs are going to be closer to use newsletter and specific staff approved topic stuff.
Yep.
By
So
specific user.
Expect lots of dinosaur related articles.
it's going to happen. And
Wiki though
there was another half of that. So Wiki. So what I skipped over when we were looking at games.
This time at least. We've covered it in the past.
There's a feature called pages. So you can actually add pages to your game. And pages are essentially oops, he didn't use a page here. Let's see, did he put a calendar on, but he didn't use a page. Dang it. So pages are essentially what the wiki is, which is an arbitrary content block. You can put anything in a page, and you can have as many pages as you want. And there are features for organization and content management so that you can essentially turn this page into the wiki for your game. And because we don't have the site infrastructure issues that revolve around games being so resource intensive because of how vBulletin works, you can actually create a game to house just your wiki, and then you can refer to it from other parts of the site.
Well, I mean, you can make a game that's your
Setting
arguably the
development.
way games are currently structured, you can have multiple different groups running in the same game forum. It is possible.
Yep. Yeah, that's not shown here, but you see that this is game forum. So I actually have a forum that has multiple threads in it. Then there's another forum here for character applications that has multiple threads in it. And then he's got yet another forum for his DM notes that has multiple threads in it. So you can actually have more than one forum, which allows us to do the cool things that the Pathfinder Society and Living Greyhawk and blanking on the other big one that's out there, Rumfolded Tavern.
Yeah.
All of the multi-game conglomerates that we have, it's actually easier for them to do that now than before, because they can basically add a forum at will for every one of their subgames, and then have a shared wiki in the form of pages.
And Ark the Lad asks another valid question. Is there an option for private roles?
Excellent question. So privacy is going to be controlled at the post level. So if you can't see the post, you can't see the roles. Therefore, if the GM makes a private post or a post that's linked or allowed only to a certain number of users, they're the only ones who can see the roles that are attached to it.
So kind of,
Colin,
but it's not as simple as adding a private tag field around the post.
correct. There will be no private text inside the content of a specific post, because that construct was built because of how vBulletin worked.
Loud noises.
We lost Claire's video.
We did lose Claire's video. She'll be
The-
back.
Yeah, just for one moment. Sorry, I
That's
had
okay.
to follow orders.
Go and get another beer? What?
So I had one brought in to me.
Ah, there we
Got
go.
it.
Finally catching up.
Protecting the innocent. There was no functionality for private posts in vBulletin, but it is much easier for us to do that with an add-in in InVision. So we will be doing so, which means that the private content will literally be locked down. It just won't even appear.
Yep.
It won't be where we have to do some gymnastics on the server side to validate your access to the private text every time you view the thread, which causes cache breaking and performance issues, and see why we're leaving the old site and moving to the new one.
The site won't be balanced in a knife's edge for stability anymore.
Yep.
Geekahedron asks comments on pages in some form.
Comments on pages in some form.
Don't remember if we can or can't do that.
Well, I didn't actually go and add a page to this game, so I'm gonna have to go pick a different game. One where I know that there was a page. The Swamp. Yes. Well, there's viewability, but it doesn't look like specifically there's comment capability on a page.
There you go, Eric. Turn the page.
It's a long and lonesome highway when you're a code monkey.
Look at me not being one. I mean, I took those couple classes in Python.
Yeah, you did.
Forgot most of it already. And that'll
Yeah.
stay forgotten until I look at the code again. Then it'll all come crashing back and I'll
Yeah.
remember I can kind of program. And it'll be
Mhm.
depressing.
Right. So the nice thing about blogs in that regard is that that they do have a comment feature built in on them, which then brings me back to the other question. Oh yes, yeah, you can add a blog. So if you want something where you want feedback on it, blog it. And the difference between a blog and a page is the blog can have multiple entries in it on the same, um, instead of being essentially one big post, it can be a series of posts.
Tiffany, well played, bad, no treat.
Grok still lives.
Grok the Beardbarian, bad.
When we were testing out potential features for sheet block integration, we were toying with the idea of uh, having the sheet block show up like this and just in a different sidebar than the dice.
He says that like he's not still working on it.
Uh,
Not
I've
not for open beta or not for initial release, but
soon.
soon.
How much can you purge on a game to keep things? Well, if you're the game leader, game master, game moderator, then you have the ability to do a whole lot of things. Um, you can remove features. Like if I went to like this game forum here, I can go in. I can edit its visibility. I can edit its description. I am not a
As far
game leader,
as
so I
as
don't
far
have
as
the
a
delete feature on here.
right. As far as can you go through and purge things for a blog? Yeah, you can.
Absolutely. Users can almost always delete their own content.
And GMs should be able to delete content within their game forum without issue.
Select, delete.
Auto archiving. God, no.
Not
Tiffany
only not
Tiffany asks if there are plans for auto archiving. We don't
look,
need it anymore. It can go away.
auto archiving was designed because vBulletin was not designed around having 10,000
Hundreds of
plus custom forums.
yeah. Yeah. Auto
So,
archiving games will not exist.
yep, you'll have the ability to archive it if you choose to do it, but you won't have to do it for us to keep the site running.
And it won't do it if you don't talk in it for a few weeks.
Or
Yeah,
months.
once you start to understand a little bit more about what goes on, behind the scenes, you realize just how fortunate we are to even have a forum at all.
Claire didn't even scream too loud when we told her.
That you could hear.
Point.
She muted.
Yes,
Uh,
dead games will just float. We all float down here, Tiff.
Eventually, we probably have some form of cleanup where
But
we just make them invisible.
it'll be closer to like, several months of activity to like a year of inactivity instead of like,
Mm,
oh, no one said anything for 30 days. We're going to start talking about archival. That won't exist.
Yeah, it'll
Inactive
probably
for,
be
8 months to a year, we might look at, oh, maybe there'll be something. Like
probably
Eric
go in
said,
our
more
data policy.
invisible than archive.
Right. And that is the other thing that you can do as a leader, is you can actually hide the content. So if you don't want it to be seen anymore.
So we can all go in and kind of randomly hide some of Powder's stuff.
Yeah. You'll see that this one is showing up as hidden because I have the power to hide it, but I also have the power to see hidden stuff.
You sniped Tiff.
I know. It's what I'm good at.
Yeah, Geek, we might just do that anyway, just to make sure you keep building character by having to unarchive it.
You have to keep those clicking fingers sharp,
Accurate.
Alright, any other questions?
Going
Someone?
once.
Anyone?
Going twice.
I
Going
mean, we gotta give him
three
time to actually
times.
see the statement come up. Still soft delete, Tiff. There is still not going to be permanently enabled for member level. And staff, while they can hard delete, does not have permission to hard delete, and yes, we have ways to see things that were hard deleted still.
Yep. Backups are a real thing.
Yeah, moderators do not, well, they can permanently delete stuff, they are not authorized to do it, and we do have ways to check it. Because, I mean, let's face it, Claire's just shisty as hell.
Look at that
Yeah.
shade.
I was just thinking, there go my plans to sneakily delete things.
Mick asks, I see a calendar function. Is there a way to set reminders for players, i.e. you need to post by X date?
I believe the answer is yes.
You can go into your calendar and create an event that says, hey jerks, post by X date.
Yep. But I don't think that it forces them.
No, I don't think it does.
No. So if they don't subscribe to the calendar, you're still SOL.
Yeah, unfortunately, still stuck with that pesky communication thing.
Yep, that's
She's
correct.
learning to play the game.
I know, right? Tiffany, that's correct. You can't have a player scorched earth their posts.
Yeah. Anything that's deleted is soft deleted until we right. We
They're
can't
gonna make you
avoid
say the date, Eric.
we
You
can't
committed
avoid
to
the
it.
question any longer.
I
All right.
tried to give you
So
wiggle room. You were like,
so
no,
so the date that we are targeting,
that Eric is targeting. That
Rodrigo
Eric
and
is
I are
targeting.
working to succeed at, but Colin is unwilling to commit because he has commitment issues.
I tried to give Eric another 3 weeks.
He did.
I'm a horrible project manager. I'm not giving him too little time. I'm giving him more than he thinks he needs.
Yeah. He's the one who's telling the customers, this is impossible. It will literally take forever. Or next Tuesday. One of the two. No, the date is not next Tuesday.
So the
right.
target
So
is April 30th.
Calendar. April.
Well, that's a good
30th.
question that TK asks, is the open beta going to wipe once things go live?
No. Shouldn't.
So no Ragnarok for Baldr then?
No. So the closed beta is going to wipe.
Yep. This will go away. The open beta, assuming that everything works as expected, will move from whatever URL the open beta is at, which I'm not telling you yet.
The closed beta, is that you mean? To whatever the open beta gets?
The open beta will get a different thing than the closed beta currently has. The open beta thing will then migrate and be www.mythweavers.com when it goes live, but it will be the same infrastructure. We'll just change its name.
Yeah, it's going to be. Yeah, the closed beta is getting wiped because the closed beta is still a demo setup. And
Yep.
in order for us, we already have the licensing and stuff for the full package. but it requires us to have all the server infrastructure in place. And we haven't set that up yet because we have been in testing. And the open beta is not going to involve a merge from the current production site. Both sites will be running side by side. Posts in the existing production site will not be made in the open beta site, and
Correct.
vice versa.
And there will
Like,
not be a wholesale migration of content from existing Mythweavers to new Mythweavers.
That's still under discussion.
The specifics of it are under
Yes,
discussion.
yes, sorry. Yes, that.
But they will not exist as individual posts from the past to the future. That cannot be done.
It'll be smooth as butter, Tiff. You know it.
There will, however, to Fear's question, be a user migration. Users will come directly across.
They actually spent a lot of time working on that. I said hell with it. I want to, take my user number to the single digits, but they were like, no.
Look, if I have a 5-digit user number and I'm an admin, you can be too. Just put in 10 years of pain.
Pruning of dead accounts, probably not. It takes maybe.
We might not migrate accounts that have no content from old site to new site.
Yes. There will be a cutoff, Fear. It will be announced well in advance, and by that point, we won't be on open beta by that point. We will transition to full release, and there will be hey,
co-production.
Yeah, there's X amount of time until this goes to read only. And yeah,
the read only will persist for some period of time before we do content export transfer, probably in some like PDF format or something.
Yes, it's none of the data for the current production site is ever going to go away. It may, so there was a very several months long look at, hey, can we port all the data over? And the answer was yes, but it'll take something like 8 years.
And it won't be perfect because private tags don't exist.
And
dice tags, different format.
Yeah, it's the dice tags. You've got stuff like, okay, we have the equivalent for field set tags and OOC tags in the new setup, but they don't seamlessly cross over. There's a lot of custom BB code in the current production site that was completely custom made that just doesn't translate over easily.
There's no converter for it. And the conversion, aside from being time prohibitive, it wasn't perfect either. I mean, the more complicated you made things and you crowd about your custom character sheets in posts, I'm looking at you. That it can't happen. There's just too much complication. Our time is better spent getting you new features than trying to figure out how to make your old content perfect.
Tiff asks, how will games go if still running between old and new? I'll let you know.
We haven't figured that out yet. We're going to play it by ear.
My general plan is the game that I've got advertising right now is going to be implementing a migration over to the open beta once it kicks off. So there will be some stuff on the existing site, some stuff on the new open beta version.
I mean, my personal feeling when I do the exact same thing is like the first post in the thread is going to be a link to the old thread on the old site.
Yes. Yeah, it's
guinea pigs without number.
Shut up, Zub. just to clue in the others not familiar, the game that Zub has applied to that I'm setting up is I told the player applicants that their characters would be everyday Joe/Jane types that eventually get drawn into a sci-fi war.
So I guess since we're talking about content from old to new, if I were to go to, I don't know, I'm going to pick something public here, like something in general discussion maybe. These won't be very interesting posts though. Game ads. Colin's game ad. So he doesn't have any pictures, but he has field sets. Boring.
The problem is I've got existing art for that system from God, back when Spakes was doing some art for me because he could.
All right. Copy. Paste.
Some resizing needed, yes. However,
Click on the image. Float right. Update. So, yeah. So basically, you could literally copy paste the posts from the HTML format. It can be done. And then you can click on the source button and you can edit it and go in and find out that, okay, I don't actually want the background color to be white. I got like half of it. That's not bad.
Zub, whoa what? What are you wowing?
Just you woeing that I just like literally copy pasted the entire content of the post from one site to another.
Well, she might also be watching this from horseback, so
That is also definitely possible. Oh, there's where that background color was. Pesky
See,
background color.
Zub, I don't know if you've watched the earlier stuff we've done on this, but there's right-click context menus on a lot of this.
Yeah. Not on the images, obviously, because that was a double click context thing, or a long press if you're on mobile. But yeah, it pretty much copy pastes extensively exactly the way that it came. But if I go back to Colin's one, because Colin's uses a feature that wasn't on that post, he's got field sets. Copy.
Worth
Paste.
noting, it should carry over the URL links flawlessly,
Yeah.
at least.
URL links are great, but it didn't actually do the field set. So, yeah. So if I copy that and I say, let's do a field set here. All right, now it's a field set. So some manual intervention may be required, but for the most part, a lot of things will come over pretty cleanly.
Shush, geek. Shush.
Yeah, internal links will need to be updated because obviously it created a hyperlink here, but that's a
Yeah,
hyperlink.
I mean, the one at the bottom to drive through RPG is right. Oh, hey, and Eric's unintentionally showing off the right-click context menu.
Yeah. So if I hold down Command and right, and actually hover on the link, then you can edit the link directly from there. Or if you had an OOC tag,
good one,
you could.
Zoo. So, oh, sorry, go ahead.
Oh boy,
No, go for it, Claire.
that's terrible.
Kendris asks, do keyboard shortcuts work for bold, italics, underlining, that sort of thing?
Yes.
Oh yeah, yes, absolutely. So Here we are. Copy, bold, underline, italics. Yes, yes, the
Like a
keyboard short.
child, Eric.
Look, I only get so many opportunities to show off geeky things, but the buttons also work. I just don't know if there's always a keyboard shortcut for every button.
But
Looks
for
like,
those of us who are fond of our alt codes and M dashes and things,
Oh, and Eric
oh yeah,
also showing that, hey, if you accidentally refresh the page, it'll show what's still in the text editor.
oh yeah, yeah. So if I hit Control R here and refresh the whole page and it collapses my, oh, where did it go? There it is. It's all there. And if I navigate to a different page, I don't know, say this one.
report Colin for yawning.
Yeah,
No.
and I put that there, and then I go back to, oh wait, no, where was that calendar post that I was making? I swear it was around here somewhere. It's still there. Yes,
In other words, we're trying to make the site as durable as possible, or as the Navy types like to say, we're marine proofing it.
basically. There's tables too. We
And
mentioned
if
this
you're
in
a
the
Marine
last one, but
veteran, you can feel free to protest, but you know it's true.
we've lost track of how many crayons.
We still have crayons left? Don't tell them that. They'll try to breach the vault again.
Yep. Custom spoilers. This was something that actually came up on the site recently where people were asking, hey, can I have a spoiler around an image? And the answer was, well, no, you can't. Unless you were over on the new site. If you were over on the new site and you had an image, I just got to find like an actual image here. An actual image that I'm allowed to post. Okay, that one's fine.
Heh, you sniped Arcticus on the crayon jokes. Sorry,
Nope.
not sorry.
Yeah, I tried to grab. Oh, there we go. This will
No,
work.
Geek, you can't make the topic a spoiler. Or an OOC, rather.
So yeah, spoiler. Obviously, clicking on an image gives you the large size of the image, but if I click on the eye, I can actually expand the spoiler. Image spoilers. It's a thing.
Fancy.
Chess hands. All right, other question. Wait, no, you can put, yeah, oh, sorry. That was the thing that you just answered.
You can put images and spoilers, but not as the topic header.
Right. What you can do now, because we have so much power, edit my comment here, is you can actually put in you can actually make the spoiler more complex than just a string of text like you can do on the old site. If I click on the text, which is part of it, then you can also expand that spoiler paragraph. Bedunk. All right. Final questions. Last opportunities.
While we're waiting for those, I think I just wanted to highlight, just purely from an aesthetic standpoint, the new site just looks so good. It's so much easier on the eyes, and everything looks so much smoother and just a
And
lot more pleasing.
Oh
if you
yes,
like
the
dark,
dark theme.
okay. So aside from the fact that obviously it's still a work in progress, and
Very
this
much
was
so.
this was content that was pasted from another site where it has a whole bunch of styling applied to it that would have to be undone if I went to an existing thread. Dark mode would look just fine. So maybe that's
Although
one of
what
those.
some of us are waiting for is the dark lime theme.
Dark lime. It's
Dark
coming.
lime. Andrew didn't say no.
In fact, he thought it sounded kind of cool.
Yeah,
If
mistakes were made.
if you feel like light mode,
I want a blue Firebird mode.
Well, this is bright and there's blue, so that's your blue Firebird mode.
No,
my
no.
eyes,
I have a vision. I have a vision.
Sounds
my
like you need an
eyes.
artist.
Yes, I'm going to have to bribe somebody.
What's up with this new notification? Oh, this is a staff notification of reported content.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I
Scroll
was
back
I
2 hours in the podcast and you'll remember that I reported this
no,
because
I think there's a reason why I was
Eric,
asking.
one brief little view of default, and you've got people screaming about their eyes melting.
yeah, I know. That's why I turned it back real fast. Light mode is so bright, so welcoming. So not what we're going to subject people to.
Yeah, default's gonna be this once it gets cleaned up a touch more.
Yep. We got to remove the locks.
Well, Arcticus, there used to be a lime theme on the site before Mythweavers. Dark lime is
It
that, but dark.
it used to have images that look like this.
Yeah, like the bright lime logo was your hey, there's a new post in this thread.
So dark lime will be this. Dark limus.
All right. So,
So we're at almost 2 hours. I think we've run out of real questions, and now we're just dealing with fake made up questions.
members being as immature as the staff that runs the site, yes.
Uh,
I mean,
They
wait,
might have to
we're
go a
very
little
adult.
further.
We're not immature at all.
that's why we brought Claire in because she is the voice of maturity here.
I am
I mean,
I'm the
yes.
heart. I'm the heart of this whole fair.
All right. So,
So Mythweavers meetup. Since it
yes.
was just brought up and it is on the calendar, so I guess I kind of need to go to the calendar and scroll forward to
Of course you put it in this calendar.
June. Mythweavers meetup Kalamazoo, the second iteration of our fantastically popular in-person meetup.
Not me,
Be there.
Tiff. Definitely not me.
So,
Tickets start at $30 for one day, $50 for the whole weekend. Open gaming, crazy people, wonderful bar at the VFW.
yes.
There'll be food. There'll be games. Did I mention the games? There's a tank
There is a tank. You can't climb in or go in it, but there is a tank.
and games.
Yes.
Board games, tabletop role-playing games. There's probably going to be another Powderhorn French and Indian war game where someone commits war crimes and gets away with it. I'm pretty
Can't
sure there
call it a
was
war crime if there's no evidence.
right. I'm pretty sure there's an extension of the Kobolds game.
God, the Kobolds game.
There won't be an extension of my apocalyptic zombie game. That won't happen.
I'm probably gonna run a meat grinder starts with that number game. One of those one shots where everyone. Yes, I said the system. Clear a drink. Yes, I'm probably gonna run a meat grinder one shot where everyone dies in the end.
I was trying. They just came up with really clever solutions.
That's why you do a deadly system so that the rolls will just kill them.
That's true.
All right. Anyway, so yeah, with we meet up Kalamazoo 2022, gonna be fun.
25th and 26th of June.
And
Registration.
Yep, registration is. I got a link in a moment.
Old site, right?
Old site.
And business is good, yes.
Boom. Link up in the chat. So that's
There it is.
Yep. That's what we got. And yes, Eric's showing it off too. There's a registration link. There's a
Google
hotel
Maps.
right next door that is not an expensive hotel, but is pretty decent.
Yep, that's where we stayed last time. I know there's some talk of an Airbnb, although I don't know how advanced the planning is of that. And they are running out of time because we are 3 months away as of today.
Yes. We just got to drag Arcticus up. Right, Arc?
And Tiffany out.
Tiffany's harder. We got to fly her across the pond. Arc is in the U.S. He doesn't have an excuse.
Yeah, I am told there will be Magic the Gathering. I've definitely heard there's Betrayal at the House on the Hill.
Yep, Betrayal's going to be there again. We're going to bring Bang again, which is a wonderful card game, similar to Mafia for those unaware. Yeah.
Yep. And if special requests come in, I may bring Trogdor.
Eric brought Oregon Trail, the board game, last year, and it was worse than the video game. The
that was
video game
hilarious.
beats you right at the outset. The board game makes you think you have a fighting chance in the first half, and then it beats the hell out of you.
But
Well,
one
you know
person
what?
made it across the line.
We won. One person survived.
Dying of dysentery builds character.
I think I drowned in the river in the process of making the final crossing. Yeah, it
Mm,
it was a thing. All right. Anyway, so yeah, we got that. Otherwise,
Yes, Kendris, we are in fact advertising specifically to you. Join us.
part of the ship, part of the crew. Well, and Zub. We got to try to drag Zub up.
I have to. Well, darn it, I'm not driving. She is close, however, to the airport. Yoink!
All right. Anyway, I think that wraps up our AMA for Baldr, our second AMA for Baldr. So, Eric, if you would like to close us out.
Before we close, I'd just like to remind you that Weaving Myths is made possible by our Patreon. If you'd like to subscribe and get access to the sweet, sweet rewards that come along with supporting this cast, just look us up at patreon.com/weavingmyths or find us on the site. It's easy.
Or yell at us on the Discord.
Thank you all. Tonight I've been joined by the magnificent Claire and Colin.
Been fun, everyone, as always.
Thanks for coming and keep on weaving those myths.
Good night.